talks classic rock. Q1043.
All right, welcome back. We are joined in the studio with Jesse and Sebastian. The band is Death from Above. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Say hello to all your fans out there.
Hello.
What's going on?
Internet's land. The new album, let me hold it up here. Outrage is now.
Gosh, that's pretty.
Isn't that pretty? I'm going to freak everyone out and just go like that. On tour in the States now, all the tour dates, Death from Above, 1979.com. And to clear up that name, the socials still have 79 on it.
Yeah.
But it's Death from Above is the name, thank God, finally.
Again.
Again, exactly. So last night I saw you at Brooklyn Steel. My first time there, actually, and believe it or not, first time seeing the band. Can you guys see my face right now?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, because it melted last night.
Yeah, it did look a little droopy.
It's a little droopy. But you guys were awesome last night. Was that fun for you playing that?
It was so fun.
That's a new venue. Yeah, actually.
Yeah, man, it sounded great in there.
Yeah,
it looks cool too.
Up until recently, I didn't appreciate how important to my enjoyment of the show having an over-powerful PA is, because it lets everything, like the sound comes back to us, and it sounds as awesome to me as it might have in the room.
But it's got to be good to, considering. No, it's not.
I'm sorry.
I mean, considering what with the band, you had one album, then you broke up for 10 years, and in the last 3 years, you have 2 albums. And your fans have stuck with you, like close to 2,000 people last night at Brooklyn Steel. Yeah. So that's got to feel pretty good.
It felt pretty good. It's not so bad.
No, it's amazing.
That doesn't suck, right?
Yeah, it doesn't suck.
Also, what's amazing is a lot of those fans will talk to them and then learn that they were children when they discovered our band.
Well, yeah,
which is something you don't consider. Like I don't think about.
People getting
kids.
Older. Yeah.
Our first record turns 13 today. It's 13 years old.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Twitter, for letting us know.
Wait, is it Friday?
Today's Thursday.
Oh.
It's Thursday.
Well, okay.
Whatever you say. Big brain.
Band on tour.
Yeah, but to your point, that's what, 14 years ago, right? So people may have seen you as a teenager. Now they're maybe married with like kids and stuff.
So you say teenager. I'm talking about someone will say, "Oh, I loved your band. I heard your band when I was 7."
Oh man,
right?
What, from their parents?
Maybe.
They were at a club in Toronto.
No, but older
brothers.
That's how do you older brothers and sisters. That's how you learn about music.
That's not something I had anticipated. Like my kid at 10 now, of my 2 kids, my older one, I wonder, is she going to go up to someone in some band many years from now? Oh yeah, you were my favorite when I was 10, which is now.
Yeah.
Just I should really be more adamant about her listening to better music.
That's always a weird kind of conversation to have, because some people's like, for example, say any band, say we were talking about Van Halen before. Saw Van Halen like years and years ago. That was one of the best concerts. But there's somebody in the world today who's like, oh, I saw Britney Spears when I was 18. And that was like the most incredible moment. And 20 years later, she's going to be like Britney Spears, my goddess.
That's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
I ran into, at the Queen show the other night. No, I ran into Michael Ty, the guitar player from Jeff Buckley's band. And I fanned out on him.
Whoa.
Incredible. And he also had a band called the AM, which were really great.
I remember that.
I think I remember that.
The AM were awesome. And I realized, I was listening to his music 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's like the 90s, right?
20, 21, 22. It's crazy. And I'm standing in front of him. He looks great. He looked great.
Rock and roll, healthy rock and roll lifestyle, I guess.
I mean, he was wearing shorts and a loose knit sweater, which is a bit of a weird choice for a rock concert.
To an arena show?
But he looked incredible. Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, the weather's been weird here. You never know what to wear when you go out in the morning.
You never know what to wear when you go to a Queens of the Stone Age show at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I saw on your website there's a film that you can watch on the band called Life After Death.
Life After Death from Above 1979.
Yeah. So was that a recent thing, or was that made?
We made it during the Reformation in 2011 and 12.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's the footage is really cool.
Well,
and like every shot is just the two of you, right? I mean, it's like, and there's backstage stuff, there's concert stuff, there's traveling stuff,
everything in there,
airport stuff.
Yep.
Really cool. Jesse, you and I had an in-depth conversation after the show last night about agriculture and farming. But
that's how I know that really happened.
That totally happened.
I will guarantee you that I will bore the pants off of everyone
but I
Couldn't
found it
have said-
fascinating. I learned some things that I will use further on in my life.
I am the Cliff Clavin of rock and roll, and I could probably tell you.
Does that make me the norm?
So when could you walk out of the room, and when you come back in, we'll all go, Seb!
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here we go. It's happening. No.
Seb!
Hey, Sammy.
We were gonna put Coach +5 on the guest list for
Boston.
For Boston,
Oh, yeah.
but he's dead.
But
And then they all laughed.
you guys are from Toronto, and I want to reference a photo that your lovely partner in crime here showed me last night. It is a photo of you with another famous musician from Toronto by the name of Geddy Lee.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And
Oh yeah, Geddy. Of course, yeah. We're
Yes,
just
we
close.
dine
We
with
eat
Geddy.
together.
We
hang
regularly
out,
dine
you
with
did
Geddy.
dine with Geddy.
jokes. We shut down a restaurant together.
Yeah,
I'd
so
pretty
tell
much
me
ask
about
us to
that
leave.
night. I mean, was that the first time you met him, or
I
first
had-
time you had dinner with him?
You know what? I met him once before, but he didn't remember it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
You know,
he meets a lot of people, Jesse.
I'm pretty sure he's met a lot of.
He's going to
people.
remember you from now on, though.
Yeah, he will remember
Yeah.
that. No, I think we had a very nice time
We
together.
did. We were in London, and we just recorded at the BBC and
Oh, okay,
on the
yeah.
Andy Mac show. And our dear friend here, after it was over, asked us, "Hey, do you want to go for drinks and oysters with Geddy Lee?" And we said, "Yeah, that's exactly what we want to do."
I think that's a good idea.
No, you're like, I got to
It's a
do
good idea.
laundry. I'm on tour.
yeah,
Right? Yeah.
So
I don't
we-
know. I'm just gonna go sit in my room.
that's basically how it happened, and then we just sat around and talked. We've had this experience before, not with Geddy Lee, but with other famous musicians, and the second you're at a table with another musician, like there's no hierarchy, there's no
That's what you think.
no, I mean that's how I feel, because we're just having a conversation. Like when someone asks me how was it, I go, it's like this,
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
like this. It wasn't anything.
Well, that's
weird.
kind of what you would hope it to be, right? It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, you're just having food and some drinks.
Yeah, and you want to talk about
Yeah.
gear and
Right.
baseball and whatever else.
Yeah, he's a big baseball guy, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of. My wife is her best friend is the kid of the drummer from the Sex Pistols, and I was staying at her
Paul
house.
Cook.
Yeah, I'm staying at her house in London one morning. I wake up and he's right there, and he's like, "Oh, hey Jesse, good to finally meet you. How's tour going?" And I start to tell him, and I'm thinking, I don't have anything to tell you. He's the drummer from the Sex Pistols and PIL, and he still plays in bands, and it's like, I have nothing to add.
Yeah.
So I'm agreeing with what you say, but then there's also that perspective always sitting in my head that I don't have anything to add.
Well, I wasn't speaking for both of us. I was speaking for myself. I'm very comfortable with other rock and rollers.
But Jesse, you play a bass, but it's not really a bass. It's like a lot more than that, right? I mean, it's like a bass and a guitar and
The a lot more is me, but
obviously.
it is really just a bass, but I'm just not much of a bass player. Playing a bass is a thing. It means something. It has a role in a band.
Right.
I'm just using a bass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm using
or abusing a bass.
I do. I think I'm pretty nice to my basses now. I used
It
to
was not
hurt-
thrown off
There-
the stage.
There's
as
a
I
website
recall.
called Crimes Against Bass, and it's a website by bass players dedicated
Andrew.
to Jesse.
Are you aware of this? Andrew's a bass player,
Yeah.
the guy holding the camera.
It's just guys commiserating together and talking trash on Jesse. He's not even a bass player.
Up until the last 5 seconds of that
You
little
believed
bit,
it?
I believed it. I totally believed it. I was thinking, man,
it's nice
why
that
have
after
we
all these
not-
years, I can still screw with you a little bit.
I am, like my mentor Cliff Clavin, very gullible.
So was Geddy a guy you listened to as like a kid growing up? Were you like
It's impossible to avoid Rush, and not only in Canada, but when we started touring the States,
the game.
we would be driving, in the middle of the night through some state, and you could just, if you wanted whatever Rush song you wanted to hear, you just keep changing the dial, and then you'll hear,
Right. That's a good place to be. I
It
guess,
became a
you know.
game.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
hit Seek on the radio,
Right.
and just press stop when Rush eventually comes on because it's not going to be that long.
Yeah.
How about Lemmy? Was he a guy that you? Because he played really loud and distorted. So, which I hear you kind of doing with the way you plays.
Yeah, although I think the thing about Motorhead that was an influence is really the whole band. You know,
Yeah.
'Cause that whole Lemmy's the star, but everybody in that band is awesome, and
Yeah.
those records are amazing, and it's like the overall feel of it is what I would say was an influence. But I definitely did want to play Rickenbacker.
Oh yeah,
And
right. Outrage is now the new album from Death from Above, and the guys are with us in the studio right now. It's only natural that bands sort of reflect the times that they are in, the climate that they are in. They write lyrics and they write songs about it. And then you said that once you decided that that was going to be the title of the album, which is a song on the album too, that everything sort of just came together once you sort of like realized what the title was going to be.
Yeah, I mean that song was written more or less last in the sequence of how we wrote the record, and the record had a whole other title that was vague and reflective of some other attitude I had.
Yeah.
And once that song came together, it became obvious that that was the statement.
Yeah.
And I have to say that I was nervous about it at first because I think it's provocative.
me too.
Did that ever happen though in the past with other albums where you're like, is that a common thing for bands when they pick a title? Does everything sort of like fall into place or something?
I don't know. I think that there's I'm aware of the idea that themes are emergent sometimes, and your subconscious is playing a different game than you think you're playing, and then you turn around and observe it. In writing, it happens all the time. You write something and you don't fully know what it means, and then you read it objectively and go, oh, this is what I'm talking about. I had a teacher in high school who, it was a creative writing class, and I wrote this thing, and then he read it back to me and interpreted it, and I went, oh, that's weird. I guess that's what I'm saying. So I became aware of how the mind is operating on a couple levels, and then when I wrote that song, then I started seeing those themes all over the record, and I thought, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like naming a piece of instrumental music suddenly makes that instrumental piece
Hey, we're talking about lyrics here, okay?
It makes it about something. No, but we're talking about the title of the record.
It's a lot like playing bass. It sounds really good, and I'm very, very good at it. And
do you know what? Wayne, what I find the most interesting.
Outrage is Now is the new album from Death from Above. They're on tour. All the tour dates, deathfromabove1979.com. This whole new album is great, and the song Freeze Me. First of all, the video for this song, we got to talk about the video because I don't know what's going on there. Are these professional bodybuilders?
They are, yeah.
They are. And
I mean, if I would guess right now, those people are building their bodies.
yeah.
Like if you were to call them, they'd
if
be
they're
like,
awake,
they'd be like, ugh,
yeah.
what's up, man? Yeah.
But wow, what a fantastic video! You guys look very good in tuxes, by the
Oh,
way.
thank you.
With all you got the white towel on the,
it felt
on the
good.
sleeve.
Yeah. It was a nice day.
The song opens with something unexpected from Death from Above, a little keyboard action, like a little like regular piano sound, and then everything just goes crazy after that. But
Well, what we learned on our previous album, making it while we're making it, we had a song called Trainwreck 1979. Well, we still have it. It's still ours.
Yeah.
yes,
Our song called Trainwreck 1979 has some piano bits in it, and we had to figure out how to play piano bits live so that we could do it properly. And then when Sebastian determined how to do that, then it opened the door for us to be able to do that more. And then there was no more, barriers to how we could use sounds on the stage. And that enabled something like Freeze Me, where it's like, hey, I have a piano idea. I want to play against and over this piano idea, and we can do that. And now it seems normal now, but to us, but previously when we started the band, God, we didn't do anything like that.
No.
Well, you guys have always remained a duo, a power duo. Some other bands that started out like you guys end up hiring more musicians as time
Sounds
goes on.
expensive.
That's what I'm saying. The overhead is
Who
low,
can
which is
afford
great.
that in today's
You know what the
economy?
problem with musicians is? You got to feed them, You gotta put a roof over their head.
Got to put a seat under their bum on an
Yeah,
airplane.
Plane ticket.
They have what do you call it? Bad attitudes, you know, and then you got to pay them.
Right.
Yeah.
Plane tickets, train tickets,
Honestly,
know,
health insurance.
Oh God! You know what doesn't need health insurance? The SPDSX by Roland. And I could beat it, you know, with impunity.
Right, exactly.
It's
You
designed
can't-
for it.
You can't. I mean, you shouldn't beat a real musician with a drumstick.
No,
No,
we're
It
not
won't- it
condoning
won't
that.
I
make them
have
play any
thrown a
better.
drumstick at a monitor engineer that had fallen asleep while we were playing,
Come on.
and
Yeah,
I
it
turned
really
around because
happened.
So your aim was good.
it was great.
He
I
wasn't
was
that far away. but it
no,
was,
and he was
okay.
also,
He
you
did
know, he
really
was a
hit it.
pretty big target.
Cruel.
Yeah. Well,
True.
anyway, I hit him with a drumstick.
Yeah.
Okay.
He deserved
He
it.
was asleep
deserved
at the
it.
job, and
Yeah.
as someone who's just seen our band, you can imagine how difficult it would be to fall asleep right next to the drums.
I
can't
once,
even.
I once turned around and there was a monitor engineer and he was holding a hoagie and he had, you know, he's like a submarine sandwich in his mouth.
Where was that?
It was at the Phoenix where we're playing.
Oh,
on
that
December
guy.
1st and 2nd in Toronto,
That
Ontario.
that grumpy guy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's still
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Like he
Wow.
needed a sandwich.
Was he dripping oil all over the board and stuff? I mean, like,
I don't.
you're not
yeah.
supposed to have
Yeah.
beverages by a soundboard.
Well,
And I'm
it's-
breaking that rule right now. But
That's
anyway.
okay. I won't tell on you.
Guys.
No, these people online won't tell on you.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Hi.
Death from Above is the band. The new album, Outrage, is now. Everyone go out and buy it. Everybody go out and buy it right now because it's awesome.
Couldn't agree
Thank
with you
you very
more.
much.
And see them on tour. All the tour dates,
Please.
deathfromabove1979.com. Guys, don't be strangers. Come back here anytime.
Thank you.
Bring the
Yeah.
instruments next time. You know,
Oh, yeah.
we'll blow the roof off the joint.
We really would.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
New York's classic rock. Q1043.